are doing things a bit different today, tonight, this morning, depending on where you're at in the world. And I have a special interview with two very, very special people. Two people that I talk about a lot, and there's a half a person, and this person's name is Ryan, that we're going to discuss as well. Very, very interesting subject matters when you're talking about both our guest, Tony, and our guest that is not here, Ryan. They're into elements of the earth and dinosaurs. And they have two very lovely and loving parents. And one of the parents, the mother of Tony, is with us today, Mrs. Doretha Lipscom. Mrs. Lipscom, how are you today?
I'm doing wonderful.
Excellent. And Tony, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing excellent.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and jump right in. I titled this particular episode In One Ear and Out of the Other because I was trying to think of when I was 13 years old. I put in all the marketing for this particular interview that Tony was 12. No, he is almost grown. He is 13 years of age. And when I was 13 years of age, my mother, the lovely Cynthia Boone, would always say, son, what I'm telling you is going in one ear and out the other. And what that basically meant is you're not paying attention to anything that I'm saying because you feel that those people in school know more than your mom. That is not cool. You see that, Tony? I just rhymed that. You like that? Did you like that, Tony? Tony
Yeah.
Tony calls me an old man. I know he does, cause when I met with him, it was like, all right, old dude, whatever. But I introduced him to another older guy by the name of Giorgio Vickers, and that's my alter ego, my best friend, my homeboy. And whenever we meet people, we like to introduce them to uh, each other. And so here's the backstory of what happened. Dana Dre, who is a very, very just amazing person, sends me an email as she does about 3 or 4 times a year and say, hey, this is a person that you need to talk to. This is a person who is looking for X, Y, and Z. And in this particular email, it was Doretha, and she says in the email that I have a then 12-year-old son. By the way, Tony, when's your birthday?
December 12th, 2005.
Okay. That 2005 is the year you was born?
Yes, sir.
Man, that's weird. Jesus. I was born in 76. Nevertheless, so um, she had a 12-year-old son, and she said she's looking for resources and help and all that stuff. So I reached out and kind of gave her what I knew and the people that I knew at the time, not really, this stuff off the top of my head. And then I said, well, I'm coming to the Carolinas and I would love to meet you and Tony. And we set that up and we had the opportunity to sit down. Now, it was kind of weird for me, and I'm sure very weird for them because I'm meeting several other people at the same time for the first time. Tony and Miss Lipscomb brings Ryan, and so I'm sitting on a church bench pew with Tony on the left, Ryan on the right, and we're talking about dinosaurs and what is it, Bravanium? What's the
Elements. Elements.
okay? Just elements,
All of the elements.
all the elements, and all the dinosaurs that are real, by the way. And ever since then, we just been in contact, and it's been amazing to kind of watch Tony grow and achieve and accomplish and all of that great stuff. So let's start off, Tony, with your mom, Mrs. Lipscomb. So you're raising a young man, and I mean, he's going through those years, those teenage years. How is that for you, being a working, hard-working mom and raising Tony?
Um. Ooh. In one word.
No, not one word. I just said how is it? Feel free.
It depends. It depends on what day of the week it is. For the most part, getting him through the teenage years in itself was going to be a challenge.
Mm.
And then we find out that he's losing vision on top of the teenage years. So that added an extra blessing to our life. Um, that's what we call it. We call it a blessing.
Okay,
Um,
gotcha.
so first finding out, it was the world ended. For him, for me, it was just overwhelming. I'm like, oh gosh, he's starting middle school, sixth grade year, and this is the news that we get. So last year was just about trying to find information to help him because he's going through hormones and puberty and losing his vision at the same time. So which way do I start? Do I focus on the puberty and the hormones, or do I focus on the vision loss?
And tackle them both at the same time is a task. Cool.
Yeah. So,
Got you. So, Tony, how was that for you kind of emotionally? You're going into sixth grade and then, you have to come back the next year, quote unquote, different.
Well, it was very scary, and I was very sad because I felt like the other kids like wouldn't like accept me because I was different.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And so, have you realized that a lot of that was in your mind, or do you still think that they, or do they still treat you different?
They still treat me different, but like it doesn't bother me as much anymore because I'm kind of like starting to like accept it.
Okay. And get your swag on, huh? Got you, got you. So, Doretha, he's going into sixth grade. Things are changing. You already got a work schedule, everything that you're used to, and now there's doctor's appointments. And have you had surgery yet, Tony?
I have.
Okay.
three. He's at three.
Okay, so you got three surgeries. He's going under the knife three times, doctor's appointments, and new medicine, and all of this stuff. How was that? How is that?
Um, it it was overwhelming. I just, like I said, I didn't know which way to focus because he did kind of go into a depressed mindset. Like, oh, I can't see what does my life consist of? Nothing, you know.
Mm,
And so in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, do I focus on the mental aspect of it,
mm-hmm.
or do I focus on the actual physical aspect of him losing his vision? Because they told us, oh, well, he's losing his vision. He's going to be blind. It's irreversible. He'll probably be blind before the end of the year.
Mm.
Okay. Where do we start?
Wow.
And where I'm located, there was no one that specialized in his eye condition. There were only someone in a doctor's office in Charleston at MUSC and Raleigh and Duke, both ways 3 hours away. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
single mom. How do I get there? How do I get time off? Within the first year, I think we had over 100 appointments
What?
within the first year between the mental and the physical. So they put him on several different drops. Again, it was just trial and error. We got to get the pressures down because he's losing vision every day. So what do? You try to do it all. You try and take him to the therapist appointments. You take him to the doctor's appointments. You're taking him to the regular glaucoma specialist because he has open angle glaucoma.
Mm.
And you're taking him to a pediatric glaucoma specialist that's 3 hours away. So it is a challenge. It has been a challenge. I'm still looking for resources to assist in getting him back and forth to the doctor's appointments because getting time off from work, it's like, do I get time off from work and then possibly lose my job? Or do I take him to the doctor's appointments? And it's a struggle.
Mm. Mm. Man, so this like so paralyzed, so just like my life. I don't know the word. Okay, and so with me, I had the same high pressures and all the drops and all the surgeries and all of that stuff. And they actually told my parents that if I didn't get this one particular surgery, that they were going to lock them up for child neglect because my mom just got tired of the surgeries and them not working. And back then, they wasn't eye doctors; they were practitioners. So they was practicing on my eye, and so yeah, I mean, I could definitely understand how all of that just strikes a fear in you, but then you got to continue to push. Let people know where you are at in the country, just in case the resources that they're able to provide is location based, um, and they can assist.
We are located in Fort Mill, South
Banking
Carolina.
application.
Most people probably don't even know where it is. We're just a couple of minutes outside of Charlotte and like an hour and a half away from Columbia, South Carolina.
Okay, okay, got you. And any
5 items. Non-responsive applications.
I'm sorry, I was reading something. So, is there any type of
I can
transportation
live. Dialogue. Fedora. Button.
assistance,
Sound levels.
or anything to get them back and forth to the doctor that you found?
No, well, it's not necessarily the transportation that is the issue. It's that he's a minor, and
Mm,
both of my parents are deceased, and his father is deceased. So I don't have anyone to accompany him to the doctor's appointment.
okay, okay. Hmm, interesting. So it's definitely a unique situation, but it's something that I am pretty sure that you're not the only person that has went through. And so, you guys out there, everybody that's watching now in the replay, how did you guys overcome the lack of resources as far as being able to get back and forth to the doctor, and what information and resources can you lend to assist with this particular concern that she has. So, Tony, what things have you done since you become visually impaired that has helped you, kind of see that the world is still something that you can conquer, you can be a part of? Have you met any new people, any new sports, anything like that?
I did track, and that really helped. Like,
Okay.
it made me realize that like I can do like a lot of things that like I thought like that I couldn't do,
Okay.
and it really helped me.
Got you. Got you. Have you won any track meets? Did you place at all? How did that?
I have one.
Okay.
He actually was in the top three conference.
Got you. Got you. So is that over, or are you still in it, or how does that work?
The track season is over, but I'm gonna be doing
Button.
track again
Turn off
next
high
year,
quality video mode. Button.
so I'm excited about
First
that.
turn on high quality video.
Okay. Okay. Your friend Ryan, I guess you met him as you became visually impaired, and you guys
Mhm.
formed a friendship.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes, he met Brian through the TVI, which is like a vision specialist that works with the schools because Tony is the only visually impaired person at his school,
Mm.
and Brian was the only visually impaired person at his school.
Mm.
So
Okay.
she let them connect and talk to each other.
Wow. Yeah, I wish I had that. I went through all of my schooling when I was the only one, and really got to age 30 and thought I was the only one besides Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder. So, yeah, and I'm dead serious. I met Giorgio Vickers, who we talk a lot about, and you guys talk too. And actually, what I'm gonna do, he's listening. I don't want to mess up the stream, and Doretha, you can hopefully click over and call Giorgio on three-way, and then loop him into the conversation. He wanted to say a couple of things, but you don't have to do that now. Is that something you feel comfortable doing? You do three-way on your phone a lot? Hello.
You can hear me?
Now, yep.
I say I can do that. Just let me know when.
Okay, got you. No, I didn't hear you prior, but I heard you now.
Okay.
Got you. All right, Tony. So you're running track. Your fondness for the elements. Where did that come about, and where are you at with that? Are you doing more with elements and that whole thing?
That's Ryan. Ryan is dinosaurs and elements.
Oh, so I was talking to Ryan the whole time.
You were talking to Ryan, and Tony was interjecting in the conversation.
Oh man. Okay. 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 Got you. Got you. Okay. All right. So Tony, what's your love? What is it that you love doing, or things that you like? Because clearly it's not dinosaurs and elements.
um, I like to watch movies. I like to dance. I like to sing.
Sing. Okay. Okay. Got
Yeah,
you.
remember we tried to get him
Get
to
him to
sing for
sing.
you.
Right. That was like a 30-minute. Come on, Tony. Come on, Tony. Listen, Tony, you can do it, man. Come on. So we definitely not gonna ask you to sing now, cause
Yeah.
okay, you're not gonna do it. Okay, I get you. I see. I see. So I guess you talked to Giorgio. He told you about his son being able to sing and dance and that whole thing, right?
You sir?
Okay. Cool. So before we get him on the line, um, he really gets on your nerves, doesn't he?
He doesn't.
Oh, okay. I thought I could put some words in your mouth and you would just say, mm-hmm. Messing with them. Got you. So has school become a bit more fun for you? Are you enjoying it more since the sixth grade?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's been like better than last year, but
Okay.
it's still kind of hard.
Yeah. What makes it hard for you?
Like trying like it's really this year is really like the acceptance, like trying to fit in.
Mm. Mm. Yeah. So in one ear and out the other, you we like never fit in, right? Because
Hmm.
it's like you're different, and it's not because of the blindness. It's just because you are a different creature that God created that is gonna always be unique, and it has zero to do with blindness. Um, it's just that you're Tony, and it's only one of you, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, and so trust me, man. When you get, let's say, when you go to college, you're gonna realize that all your high school people, they won't necessarily cool. They wasn't what you needed to be, trying to fit in. Just be yourself, right?
You see?
Because if a person loves you or likes you, and you're yourself, then you know they like you for you, not because of the type of person or group that you're affiliated with.
Hmm.
Yeah, if you're a great person, people gonna love being around you, regardless to, your quote unquote disability. Sounds like a plan?
In one ear and out the other.
Oh, I know, I know, I know, I know. What type of grades you making?
Um, like B's and C's.
Okay, so honor roll.
Hmm.
He just got some more equipment. That was one of the issues that we first ran into. I didn't know where to start as far as getting equipment for him to use at school. Not being able to see the smart board was an issue, and so we just now got technology from the Commission for the Blind in order to assist with his school activity, with his school work and everything. So he's doing great.
Okay, and you think having the assistive technology was a great help for him?
Oh, most definitely. It was. It was a really, really great help because you just don't think about looking at the smart board being an issue until you cannot look at the smart board. And
Man,
that's where all the information is.
man, we had the smart board when it wasn't even a smart board. It was a chalkboard, and I couldn't see it and want nothing out there. That I had to get up on it and turn my head to the side, and boy. So you Tony, man, you lucky, dude. You got technology that looks like regular people's technology. Everything that we had was big, bulky. It looked like I mean, you seen a car windshield, right?
I have.
Imagine putting one of those up to your eye and trying to see the board.
Oh.
You know what I mean? The books was big as a desktop computer screen. I mean, and that was just chapter one. So man, it was crazy. You got it good, man. All you got to use is a cane. And speaking of cane, you using it more?
I use it on.
Tuesday and Thursday.
Wow.
Yeah.
O&M day.
Mhm.
Got to do better. You got to do better.
Ooh, I don't really like using.
That's because nobody else has one, and you feeling different again. Man, I wish. The sooner you get this, the better off you'll be. That cane gives you superpowers, dude. I'm telling you. You the only one with one. If you just embrace everybody looking at you and be like, yeah, I know you looking at me. You know what I mean? Yeah, just embrace it. They gonna look at you, man. Forget that cane. That's just an extension of you. Mm-hmm. That, yeah, I'm gonna say it anyway. Now, what if that cane was a nice car, and ain't nobody else in your classroom had the nice car? You'll be happy.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh yes,
you would
I
be
would.
the man. Yeah, let's think of it just like that. Anybody got one of these, baby? Look here, it say Tony on it. You write Tony on your cane? No.
Yeah.
You don't even like it. You're not gonna personalize it because you don't like it. It's all good, man. You're the coolest 13-year-old I know, and I don't need. How old is Ryan?
He just turned 13 also.
Oh, okay, so y'all the two coolest 13-year-olds I know. Cool. So listen, guys. Anybody out there? You guys have experienced this. Parents of blind children, being 13-year-old and visually impaired yourself, and you know what we go through as people living with what the world says is a disability. So reach out. At the end, they'll give out whatever contact information they want you to have. If you got a resource, National Federation of the Blind, the Council of the Blind, anybody out there who's been through it and is willing to assist with advice, resources, encouragement, then definitely do so. And so I got a surprise for the world. It's been a long time since I had this gentleman on. So give us about 30 seconds and we're going to see if we can get Mr. Giorgio Vickers into the conversation. So, Doretha, if you can click over and see if we can get him.
Okay. All right.
All right. And while she does that, I'm going to take a sip. All right. I took a sip. And she just hung up on me.
Messages. 2 new items. Skype. 4 new items. Messages. Control. Messages. Messages. Content. iMessage. Edit. Message. Conversation. In Christy Flynn. Last message. Website. In one ear and out the other. Yowto.be. 6. 0. Doretha Lipscom. Last message. Do it now. 5. 58. Christy.
All right.
Ecom Live. Skype. 4 new items. Skype. Skype. 4. Window. Type an SMS here.
All
Edit
right, so
text.
hold on. She just hung up on me.
Mine. Fedora Outlier. Your Skype credit balance is $2. Point.
I don't need that.
Menu bar. Apple. Skype. File. 5. New group. New chat. New call ellipsis. Your Skype credit. New call. Calls. Heading level. Call multiple people. Groups and messages. Button. Dial pad. Button. Dial pad. Dialog. Back. Button. Countries and read calling settings. Button. +1. Selected. Get credit. Button. Skype to +1. Content selected. Enter number to dial. Edit text. Paste. Dial pad. Close. End call. Button.
All right, so I'm calling her back because she hung up on me.
Okay, Giorgio sent me the sent me the text message. He say he has his hands full.
Oh, he ain't got his hands full, do he?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, well, it is what it is, and if it ain't, what is it?
Well, I have a quick story about Giorgio. My first conversation with Giorgio, again, this is a traumatic situation for both Tony and myself. And I was so overwhelmed. He could hear it in my
I can
voice.
live. I can live. Dialogue. In dialogue.
And
Alert.
I
Controls.
got on
I
the
can live.
phone
I
and
can
he
live.
said to me, he was like, well, how are you? And I just went on this long sentence about, how is he going to survive? How is he going to be independent? How is this and this and that? Why Tony? And he said, so do you know what Tony spelled backwards is? Why not? Why not Tony? And he started calling him Why Not.
Why not? Man, when he told me that, because he kept saying, yo, I talked to Why Not. And I ain't really paying attention. Finally, I had to ask him, who that? Because why not? He's like, Tony. I'm like, man, you are so goofy. You so goofy. Why not?
But if for in that moment, it made so much sense. Why not?
Why not Tony?
Why not Tony?
Yeah, yeah.
And it changed my whole perspective. And I told Tony the same exact thing that he said. And I told him that this does not define who you are.
Yeah. Nope.
So I call him Why Not.
There you go.
He doesn't like it.
So Tony, did that go in one ear and out the other?
I don't think it did. No, I don't.
Do you grasp what we're saying? That you're cool, dude. You are the man.
Mm,
You know why?
why?
Because you define whether you the man or not. You can't let society say, "Well, Tony's the man." You know, if they got to tell you, then that means you
Hmm.
don't believe it yourself. You got to walk in there with your cane. Man, I tell you what. When you go back to school tomorrow,
Yes, sir.
man, I'm coming to your classroom with my cane. I'm gonna knock everything over, and I'm gonna say, "Tony is my friend." And then you take out your cane, and then we go eat lunch together. How about that?
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. See, you cool. See, there you go. Yeah, man. So I've been wanting to do this interview for a while, just because you add a uniqueness to what we normally do, and it's not normal that we have a 13-year-old and his mother on at the same time or at any time, and they be as cool as both of you guys are, and as amazing as I know you're gonna become, Tony. And you know, stick with the old guys. Me and Giorgio will do whatever we can to help you connect to whatever you can, so that you can become and do whatever it is that you want to do in life. Sounds like a plan.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Except y'all are old.
Yeah. We old. But the good thing about being old is we done been through it. So I was 13-year-old with a cane, and I felt the same way you do now, and I felt it for a long time. And I wish that I could go back and just accept what it was and be myself. Because it's not a good thing to wake up and to be somebody that you pretended to be versus who you were born to be. Hence,
Mm.
why not? Why not be you, baby? That's why you here.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. But you're awesome, and I will always tell you that. And I told you that when I first met you. You just got a great spirit about yourself. You got a humbleness. You have a great mom, and you know, with the world at your back and you directing the ship, you're gonna be able to become whatever it is you want to become.
Yes, that is true.
Cool, cool. Well, I thank you two for this interview. I'm going to get ready for Bible study. Mom, if you're out there, I know you are listening. Thank you for talking to me down through the years. Thank you for being just as great as Mrs. Lipscomb is to her son. And I appreciate all the things that you taught me and everything that you demanded that I become, because as mom says, a handicap is only in your mind. And if you think you can, or if you think you can't, you're right. And whenever you call Giorgio, he's going to say his hands are tied and he's not going to answer the phone. So there you
Well,
have
thank
it.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, you two have a great one. I'll text you after Bible study. And Tony, be great.
Okay, thank you.
No problem, my man. I
Bye.
appreciate it. Thanks, Mrs. Lipscomb.
Ecom Live.
Thank you. God
Messages.
bless.
You too. Bye bye.
Stickies. Mail. Finder. Contact. Amazing. Skype. Ecom Live. Skype. 4 new items. Okay. Okay. Default. The operation could not be completed. Okay. Default. Button. Camera. But shares video file. Button. Show slash hide camera effects.
Oh,
Button.
man.
Show slash Skype. 4 new items. Echo. Finish. Finish. Button. Show slash hide camera effects. Finish. Button. Skype. 4 new items. Skype. End call. Button. End call. Share screen. End call. But turn video on. Dim. End call. Button. Share screen. End call. Button. Press end call. Button. End share screen. Close. Button. Close. Close. Share screen. Dimmed. Button. End call. Button. End call.
Tony, you there?
Press end call. Button. Ecom Live. Entering finish. Button. Show finish. Button. Press finish. Button. End broadcast. Button. Cancel. End broadcast. Button. Press end.